It's Event Rentals with Aaron, and I just got my very first haircut since becoming a new dad, so I gotta make a YouTube video. So today's video, I will be talking about a super underrated skill that you need to start developing from your very first event, and that is crowd control. Honestly, I feel like this is something not a lot of channels actually talk about, but this is a super important skill that you need to develop because it really determines the experience of not just the people using the booth, but you as the attendant and as the business owner and how you feel about actually running a photo booth business. But before we get into it, I'm Event Rentals with Aaron, and I'll be posting regularly about the journey of growing my photo booth and event rental business, how-to tutorials, and everything in between. So if you don't want to miss out, make sure you subscribe, hit the like button. Now, let's get into the video. So as mentioned in the intro, crowd control is a very important skill because it does not matter if you are working an event with 25 people or 250 people. You need to manage the crowd because something I quickly learned is people don't mind waiting in a line. However, they do mind if the line is not moving or if they feel like people are getting in front of them and skipping the line. And again, something I learned is it does not matter if they're all adults. It does not matter if they're all professionals. People sometimes don't know how to act when there's a photo booth. So here are 3 instances where crowd control is super important and where you need to establish your boundaries as the attendant. So instance number 1, actually forming the line. It is very common for people when they see a photo booth, they start lining up on this side, then they start lining up on that side. And you as the attendant, you can't look in both directions at once. And then if that starts happening, you also need to make the judgment call. Well, who came first? Who goes next? And that could get sticky really quickly. So from the very beginning, what you need to do when you start seeing that is establish the line is on this side only, and then after you exit through the other side. Seriously, this is super underrated, but getting a hold on that and getting a grip on the situation sooner rather than later is very important. Now, another instance where crowd control is super important is when you have a big group of people who want to take a group shot, right? Then after they take the group shot, now they want to take variations of the group. By this, I mean like a group of 5 people come, right? They take their photo. And then they say, okay, well, now us 2 only want to take a photo. Then us 3 only want to take a photo. And then now I want to take solo shots. Now I want a solo shot. You see what I mean here? So now the same group of people are trying to get multiple sessions with only lining up once. And you know what happens if you actually allow that to happen? Well, the line doesn't move and the people behind them are not happy. So with that, sometimes it honestly, from the very beginning when I first started, it was hard to say no. However, I learned if there is a long line of people and I get that situation, I tell them, unfortunately, if you want to get another photo session, you got to reline up because I am not about to have these next 20 people waiting just because you want to take all these variations of a group shot and you don't want to wait in line again. And sometimes they're happy to do that, and there are other times where they're not happy to do that. But end of the day, it's all about your delivery. Just be honest and say, hey, you know what? I'd love to take more photos of everyone, but I got a line of X amount of people, so I don't want to keep them waiting. You're more than welcome to line up again. Or if you want to come when the line dies down, you're more than welcome to do all of this. But at this moment, if I have all these people waiting, I just can't do it. And you know what? Sometimes when you explain it, it works. The third instance is now the final 10 to 15 minutes of your book time. I am telling you, it does not matter if you were at an event for 3 hours, for 5 hours, for 24 hours. People will always make that mad dash to the booth in the final moments and expect to be able to take a photo. And when this happens, you get a couple things that will happen. One, you have people saying, oh, just one more photo, just one more photo. And honestly, I was soft. I made that exception before. And if you do that for someone, then someone else sees, now you gotta do it for them. Then someone else sees, now you gotta do it for them. And it's just a snowball effect, right? And now you're going over your book time and you are effectively working for free. Now, something else that'll happen at the very end of the night is you'll have a long line. And when you do this long enough, you'll be able to gauge how long a session takes. Okay, so if you have a line of, let's say, 20 people, but there's only 3 minutes left of your book time, there is no way you are getting through those 20 people. Now, this is completely up to your discretion if you want to finish the line or not. But sometimes you just gotta be honest and say, hey, like I'm only booked until here. I can only take 5 more sessions, for example. It is what it is, right? Of course, people will be disappointed. However, you just got to remember, like, I was here for 3 hours. They fully could have taken photos, or this person already came like several times over. So, like, everything will be okay. But you definitely need to be able to manage the line at the end of the night, manage expectations to make sure that you are not working for free. Because, like I said, it is very easy to go over your end time, and it's really up to you to actually have that firm boundary. These 3 examples that I just shared with you is exactly why crowd control is a skill that you need to develop from your very first event and gradually improve on if you don't have it down already, because it is very easy to lose control of the event, and that affects the experience of the people using the booth, and like I said, your experience of actually working the booth and how you feel about the business. So make sure if you are working an event, it is perfectly fine to have boundaries. You are providing a great client experience. You are doing your book time, and anything after that is fully up to your discretion. Of course, there will be some exceptions, like if you're doing a wedding and the bride and groom come say, can we take one last photo? It's kind of like, well, yeah, of course you could take one last photo. You're the one who booked me, and it's your wedding. You're the most important people here. So I'll let you take that last photo. But with that being said, that's the video. It's Event Rentals there in here. If you want to see the stuff that I use for my photo booth business, check out the description of the video. You'll see all the Amazon links of the equipment I use. You'll also see a link to the photo booth software I use, Lumabooth, which is a super easy and affordable software. And lastly, you will see a link to my Patreon. My Patreon, I'm trying to build the most helpful community of photo booth and event rental entrepreneurs who just want to help each other, where it does not matter if you are newly in the business or you are a vet. If you have questions, they can get answered, and we can all just help each other. With that being said, that's the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.